na eba wiase eyo frɛ ɔno nti no obumdie eyo sonko ene ya behwe arenti na ebumu abrabɔ ene omo adoma kyɛdeɛ ene wona asetena eyo sonko efa afoforo ho ɔno nti no mene onyonyamfo a oda Feed Right International eye Catherine Amwa Roxin eba hwehwe nkomo na yehu wona won adoma kyɛdeɛ sonko no sena mo abrabo atie eye peculiar calling of fresh ronkon mede Christopher Abeduba me na mede hu chia me na pay me na akwa ba na ahye ene jimide na ase onyamfo Roxin anwa mo akwa ba eba Abeefo Asetena Pa jimide so
oh me das
pa chele on pom ti sen
you am me on pass
say ye hwe jimeko a omo eboa Asetena Pa Feed Right International eko mobo modern pa and yentumi en yimu film eba international Africa ni bebia ade wa se e wo so pa mode yesum oman
yes
all right iti yakopon obo yen nanso obia ne nia otumi ye wo wiase ye hwe kyerese mu a obumu e special omo special assignment Adentina peculiar calling yakopon offer ebum with special missions.
What can you know say what peculiar calling as the name sound peculiar calling obia wo frɛ but ebim dey strunku ne strunku ni che say nyama efri mo band features or the characteristics in the money ye strunku so peculiar to the extent it is a calling that must be for food in a peculiar way.
All right, no peculiar way. Yawo obi bia asade e wo wiase. Ntiri ye ka se obi aye sonkon e wo ofre anasa botan yakopon de afre na. Nso so be na e wom general calling and a peculiar calling.
You know, your friend say you should be faithful to our call. And everybody is called to be faithful. The reason of your call is everybody should be faithful. But difference when we say the general call no, is for our own benefits because you know share obiasi yamba yasim kwa nyakopon emo you are created by God and on him dey emaye so we are obligated to worship and be faithful to God for our own benefits. So that is the general call. Be faithful to God so you can really understand the reason why He called you. Peculiar no just ebi mu die no esnu ku nyama efri mu ba no unti ase nti enu ye different the difference when we say general call no everybody's call is general but mu die no is sacred differences and uniqueness no in strunku no e ma yes strunku but everybody has what they call which is a general call for everybody. Only mo call the general call is that you should be faithful to God in every way you find yourself. Be faithful to God. That is why we are called to. But the uniqueness of the call of some people that makes it different. In one same thing, in one same way,
all right. Ntino ye jina nyame asem so a obetuma bobo ebuma yakopon from a ye betumi aka se omo frɛ no eye soronko peculiar.
And son I remember no obi frɛ obi a ese on disu. The reason of a calling is you need to respond. Say me frɛ one one this one hu ade me woma wo. If I call you and you don't know the intentions I have, you don't know the reason why I called you. If you don't respond to, you don't know the benefits, what it entails, the features, the characteristics, the downfalls, the blessings, the joy and everything. It is when you respond. Say uji ofreni so a and on him idea also the first thing of every call is a response. Until say on this one sir. Uji see you answer no be hu idea wo ofreni mo. Oh, until say be ka say obi more Bible mo na make say enekra no dey you need to do formal. Hwɛ omo ofre ni nyama na hwɛ sɛ obi mu ho ofre omo kra na unti ase nti na sɛ mbu obia abemufo na don't know my tree no nyawe you shouldn't discourage or underestimate or argue about let me say put someone down because of who he is because the calling differs from each and everyone and so make say answer a question or we salmon so me to two make us Bible more and then you ask me crap one be say goma go money prophet Hosea say the calling is very different. Your friend about you say excuse to say we know idea on pa uchi wadia na dia account see kwari ashawini ba excuse to say yeah ashawi ma kan into say ba mo kwari ashawini ba and say any idea you can't stand it.
A prophet versus a prostitute.
A prostitute. It's, I don't know. It's a whole lot. And you know, the friend be but you couple no name gentia or do friend ma. Until one jiswa. Obey that here say. One say the first response to the call. Obey ya. One should be ya couple. Obey ya no utiri to me ka. You argue. And obey jinan chen crop because yeah. Papa we was some penny we. Why soon sounds really sir. Try I dey wakofa. What to the boss is so idea of uti in chair. So you see the characteristics and the features of the calling is arguable. It's very disturbing, it's odd, it's painful, sometimes you don't understand. People underestimate you. That is the peculiarity of the calling. And it's shunko ebimu friend no. In sin obits a goman any Hosea saying Anna or Bible my man can go man Hosea then unti the peculiar of the calling, but who respond there, which is the first thing of every call, you have to respond that. Then you know what it entails. And to respond there, then God brings you down to the details. So it's going to be process after every process. So you have to know you're talking to a God who knows much, who is the creator. And to response, no, you have to be joyful. Because our response to the call no, is very disturbing. Obiti say Jonah say no. One tea of friend, I say later on I didn't to both from no, and I'll tell you. So it's uti call now, just respond with joy and boldness. Sometimes take a deep breath or with humility because you're talking to a God who knows very much, and you that talk to God like a friend or someone that who understands you, like the way Abraham talks with God. You even prayed with God, you understand me? Then he will give the details because you have to know that God is able to do everything. And is able to take you through everything. So you need to respond first. So Goma's calling was very agreeable, and it's something else altogether. So he didn't love it, he didn't enjoy it, but later on he got the whole thing. So you need to respond and then take it cool with God. Then God will take you step by step. You also go through process. Every process will give you victory. Every process will give you challenge. Then one after the other, then you are fulfilling the call. So the uniqueness of it is someone like Goma. If I should give an example, more of it, but let's talk about Goma and Hosea, Prophet Hosea and the Lady Goma.
All right, there was a power when church moon. Jenna, I will reason now on Yankopon Afrayin for a purpose, a be a spiritual, a be a physical. But Nana say there's a mission or a reason why we are here. Now, Okase Monona Woka say Yankopon Afrayin, and we need to respond. And to know, Obebi say, a kwambe so Yankopon Afrayin, and how are we to respond? And I say, how can we respond to the call of God?
Yes, so number one is the respond. You need to respond very well. When you respond, then you get to know what it entails. So you sit down and respond. We respond in so many ways.
Okay.
And you need understanding.
Okay.
You can never do anything you don't understand. In everything, you need understanding. A house is established with understanding, built by wisdom, but established with understanding. In everything, you need understanding. So as you respond to the call, you need understanding. We are living in a world of distractions, and we are surrounded by so many things, noisy everywhere, which will distract you. You can never fulfill your call in this very disturbing way unless you have focus. So one, you need to respond, and two, you need to understand, because you need to understand the type of your calling. Then you need focus. You need focus to the extent that you need to create an environment for yourself in the same noisy environment. You can be in a bad environment, but you can create your own environment in the same bad environment. You charge the environment, or you move into a charged environment. You understand me? So that is where you can get the understanding very well. So assuming where you are living or what you are going through, you don't really understand. You have to create a conducive environment to be able to hear from God each and every process, each and every time. That is why I have this very book, or this, let me say this very thing, it's called Feel Right. See these 5 senses.
But your camera, no?
These 5 senses, it fits into the 6 senses. Every day we use we use the mouth, we use the ear, we use the eye, we use the nose, we use the hands or legs, the feelings, for the feelings, and they all fit into the six senses. You understand me? So all these things they are called the do without. You understand? So as we are here, we are using part of our senses over here. So that is why you need to take advantage of these senses with who and what. Who and what. What are the media, the books, the things, non-living things, and the who's are the persons. Your pastor, your teacher, your friends, your family, your husband. They are the who's. These people can influence you or bring you down. You understand me? So you have to know how to select and how to create when there's no selectivity, to be able to fit into this all these senses very well. So that the mind can get something to think of, or the mind can have something to give to these senses. So you have to create this environment by what these things listen to, who and what they listen to. With these way ones, then you can have a conducive environment which will give you an understanding of your calling, so you can be able to hear from God, which is the focus I'm talking about right now. And the other characteristics is you don't compare it, because with the unique calling we don't compare, because the way the calling is, one thing you don't compare.
All right, you know, but me can say my so die visions, dreams. Yakopon frame, a book kind Bible, say Yakopon frame. And then I mean, I saw I bet you make us ampa Yakopon Afrobi.
Yes, and we when you have a specific calling, we want to say to say, "Oh, you your mouth sign crowd, who didn't grab is very clear." We said Jeremiah said, "We say from the Moses say, "What say the signal was there." But we were young. We said David say young. Apart from anointing goodness, before the anointing, I got no names or free. But he was faithful to the God. At the beginning, I said, we are all called to be faithful. That's the general calling. Even through the general calling, you can even realize your own calling. Just be faithful to the call. So, David say, no, or no say visions need dreams now. Can you say, yeah, money? Only then say, or you have to be faithful. Maybe I don't know. He had experience, or he learned from his forefathers or ancestors. As at least no. I don't know where he had that training from, but he was in the bush. You understand me? And the way he was even caring for the animals and things, because the guy was faithful to his call. He never knew it was even a calling. So through his faithfulness, then his calling started coming up. You understand me? So the general calling itself, with the faithfulness, later on you come to realize who you really are. So the visions and dreams need to be an additional thing to your calling, which will even make it very vivid for you to know when and how to even start it without delay, and to learn and bring all the what you need that can equip you into your calling, not to waste time. So it's an advantage to have visions and dreams to your calling, to speed up. So the visions and calling, the visions and dreams and things helps us to even fulfill the calling so beautifully. It's an advantage. It's a advantage by.
All right, sir. Onyankopon ofre obi a odene fantete mu, se na ba nipa no obeye din, obeye hye. No betumi aye ejuma na odema no. One ntuno ye hwe kyerose ma Moses yenim no femu Joseph yenim no femu. One ntuno enemre mu obi hwe djumede a obi Yakopon afre na omo abrabo chesen de na ono mo femu a obi betumi akasa na me femi e kire se Yakopon afre me with a special purpose.
So what man was so ye kakra.
Na me say Yakopon afre obi a odene fantete mu training. One ntuno ama ye hu se binum abrabo tough muso efa ohana manemu, but ya na yentia say we special call and as a peculiar calling into no obu abrabo and as esu characteristics no ebini say
so it's na can say general calling say unim of prayer bibi na no yenim of prayer kra because of one or two things ignorance, lack of knowledge nyama ya family nyama nyina ka ponti no ankasa baby of free kapo ba no. You never you don't have even unya za honto kapo hu say me nipa say and I've seen and you bomb you never know. Into the general calling alone, that was everybody is called to worship God. Everybody is called to be faithful to God. That it is a very critical thing. We are called to be faithful to God. So through your faithfulness, your calling will come out. Until you see that what can say titie ni nyaman I say yemfamu nyaman. If you don't respond to the call, how can you know what it entails? So you need to be faithful, number one. Then the uniqueness comes, because the uniqueness, you know, the man of film, be more calling, no, say that, no, it's going to say, because at time, one, finish strong kono. It's a combination of us, but fair. Because but at the end, you know, it is a video, it is a film. Oh, it was a goma. Excuse me. The time you use goma there specifically, you know, or example, a very good example. Because Usha no use goma as a picture for Israel. Say there are odo muna omuyi ni ma na akwese obi ni do ukun na or more broken hearts or do ni nyama sana ye nyankopon nyankopon on chair say nyama na ye no no na into person prophet ni ti ase yi say nyama ye de no na onu ti ase no wo so fe mu na hwe say be obetuma agina ho aka ni at long last no onakasa we no prophet no obeti ase wo say wow into be oti nchen bia no hu say wow what a beautiful thing but beginning no wan hwe strike akra into tie no unti bibia say obetuma adi one man into tie. So the first is you have to respond to the call. Then you have to understand the call. You have to create an environment to understand the call. Because it's for your own benefit. Once you see what be a quiet man, you might be it's saying sell life more. You've opened the gate to another way altogether. Because what does when we say we are not by ourselves. The devil is using us. To say God is also using us. You have to understand life like that. The devil is using us for his purpose. God is also using us, but for better purpose. I say for good purpose and for the wrong purpose. So until one call us here, the one what be a and other one, the enemy to come into your life and to come in by ignorance and your lack of knowledge. So the other side of the unique calling is say what be a you may be bringing I feel what life I style what calling a strong combi and I was be a you being so it's you have to respond to the call. When you respond to the call, it's for your own benefit. Then the understanding comes. Then you have the focus. So through the focus, then it becomes a process after process. Then you'll be enjoying it. Other than that, without availing yourself, it will be very difficult for you to know what it takes to be trained. See me baha, let me see me pe watch it. Let me nyansi I say me watching me dear. I know that this food you gave the right food. Therefore, the understanding was that I paid for the watching, then you are eating it. But who won't hear us here? Now me mouth be bufra, now me banana woman be bufra, over us here. So it is an understanding of who you are. Then God also tells you much about yourself because He called you, and you have to give the details. But the details is very deep. The end of the call is very beautiful, but the process, no, I want to 7-1. I want to say you have to understand it so you can be able to go to the process, step after step. Then the end defines all.
All right, the end defines all. Ebusan for Abeefo Asetena Pa Show media na wo hwe e wo DMTV. And I share peculiar calling a friend Sronko. Yakopon no boy, my friend, the media ahodo ahye yensa. What the ane say a Sronko, and as I say a general, and I say a obibia at the NB. Say be ho ne etumi to anamwa or say yentiase or no Catherine Amwa Roxin or any cover by order Feed Right International no church and send a be who yen of fresh and a tear lay to me asum ye now man etumpon and yankopon so in faso ye be share a kwanya ye be to me ayene Feed Right International boa Asetena Pa bebre on na cover by on into yan hwe anka ho asem kakra na ye ba last part no ya hwe e kwanya ye be for fairly yen peculiar calling no nama yen edimu e wabrabom Feed Right International mabua papa Asetena Pa yakopon hiramo obi ahwe gimedia onti edini dam anase wate kompa emu nchechiremu no gese wo na wo de amayan Feed Right den na ekwan be aso na ebetumi adjoin na etumi aboa na etumi tumpon na nya emu mfaso.
Okay, Feed Right International no Feed Right organization bia holistically we use the 5 senses to feed into the 6 senses. So we should use the 6 senses to feed right, think right, act right. So it's 3 things: to feed right, think right, act right. We are based on the 5 senses. It's an organization internationally known, which entails with the 5 senses holistically concerning every field of life. By using the 5 senses, feed into the 6 senses to feed right, think right, act right. Because when the feeding is right, then the thinking will automatically be right, and then you act. Because anyone who acts, as we are here, our acting is coming because we are fed. with something, certain knowledge of somewhere coming, then the thinking has got something. Then we produce a better acting. So that's all about feed rights.
Alright, na kwan be so na e de hu be hyem ya join na nya mu mfa so mujumedi ahodoro kwan be so na ye betumi aboa na se ya som na nya mu mfa so a
feed rights or nyama bebre or your hospital feed rights or the what's called the head side, your head side, your artist side, musicians side, your creativity side. We have so many fields. Our fields are so many. So we're also into creativity, anything concerning creativity. So field right, person joining. Actually, every field is joined. Every field is welcome. We need people from every field of life. We need even sponsors to also help because the fields are all around. The most aspect of it is that we are trying to get a perception of producing a better acting in our society, so we can produce a better family, a better nation, and to produce a better dispensation for our eternity. You understand? Because if we cannot have a family which is acting right based on what they are not feeding on, then it will produce a bad thinking, and any thinking will also produce a bad acting. So we are encouraging that everybody is welcomed, all fields, all work, every field. So for the standards, your field of ministry, everywhere you work, everything you do is your field of ministry, it's your field of calling. So we want to do it very better so we can be able to produce something out of it. So everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. We need sponsors so we can promote the agenda of the feed right, think right, act right, you understand, in the form of every field. So we have a book that is written by Katriama Roxon, and this book has called series. The series this is just the first series of it. The series continues just because we want to produce a better nation, a better family first, a better nation. Then we move on to a better dispensation for generation upon generation yet unborn. So if a feeding is all right, you can see everything will be all right. So we encourage everybody to use the 5 senses very well to feed into the 6 senses, so you can feel right, think right, and act right.
All right, ebusanfo na mana ewa screen na so no feed right international normal ofra ntiachemu bia wo hia na afeso bibia opese wo hu no omo no badwudwu nkomo na wo so otumi hu na aboa opese wo sponsor akonya wo ho omo djumedie ni na ye se mbebu no na obibia ani so adu hu no ebebem na ma yenya asetena pa se na yehwehwe no eda se ansana ebe pono de social media handles ne bibia wo hia bia ebetudwa se na be ya yanso ye de hu behim na etumi aboa enche na ye di ebewie ne mom the most important question ekwan be so na ebetumi fulfill our peculiar calling, how to fulfill it, and na asem no into no boy
wow wake up boy ya mo boss but e say mo boss do who say peculiar calling no obia wo frɛ the peculiar of it is so because the peculiar plus general calling now to the general calling so peculiar to the peculiar calling so say general on say obia wo frɛ because they come from yeah say we should be faithful to him and a peculiar no struggle because of nyama na esisi na unti ase na eye hunya nkakra no and emani peculiar and emani struggle no so to fulfill it number 1 you need to respond to every calling. You need to respond. Calling that's the name entails calling me frɛ bra come one jiswa akwa say me frɛ ka bo me nyobia okay o jiswa end of hu nyama e wo me so we need to respond to the call. Then we need to get the understanding of it, because we don't know it's only understanding of it. That is, we have to create an environment that can let you understand, a conducive environment, an inviting environment, so you can be able to hear from God.
All right.
If you can't hear from God, that is where you will never understand your calling. So if your environment is too busy, is too distracting, and all, how can you hear from God? So you have to create. That's why the reason why the feedback is very important to me is that you need to create an environment using the 5 senses to be selective and creative.
All right.
Of what you listen to, then you get understanding. Then you can be able to hear from God, because you're going to open up yourself through so many ways. To some people, some things you don't understand, you underestimate. God will not come, or God will not speak to you the way you want. So you need to create an environment that you can be hearing from God through His Word, through people, through the things that make it conducive. Because if the things that around you, surrounds you, are not conducive, are not good to the Holy Spirit, it's very difficult for you to hear from God. That is the significance, or the other side of hearing, or if I should say understanding. Then you need focus. Focus is determination. You need to be determined, because so many things have to come your way. You need to be violent, you need to be stronger, you need to be determined. The focus comes with seriousness. It comes with systematic things of praying. Sometimes it comes with fasting, consecrating. It's going to be bit by bit, but it's when you understand it, making it becomes enjoyable and systematic. You understand me? So it's going to be a process by process. It's cool. You understand me? Because you can't rush, or you can't act like someone who is at certain peak. But God is expecting you to respond, so He can pick you up like a child to feed on milk. Then you keep on feeding on strong bits, a bit by bit. So I want to encourage everyone, it is not that much difficult. When you understand something, you enjoy it. You enjoy it a bit by bit. So the response, then you should know it's not comparable. And you're comparable. Don't compare yourself, because who compare who catch and and who compare who the other will change upon that. But what you see now, who to say we are different. And not to say that you man of a winning and coupon temper, no free, one on him, my dear Mao, one on him, Paco, Yana, and you know about Banisana, Untiasiano, unfound to 2 obedient. Who then so become once and be crap, and say, what's Musana, own him, you are frail, and own him, the Mao. So it is between you and God. Yama for women between you and your God. Then you need to enjoy it. It's very important. You need to enjoy it. That is going to be process after process. Because why enjoy here, one share, who fulfill but who fulfill with bitterness. He said Jeremiah, he said lamentation, say no. The actual lamentation. And say me free, what share? Who at the end when he say, oh, so far be more. Not time now family, as I say, a year and I see and I say in come for my couple now who discourage and couple now and I say it's good to say now who can once and I say two bon time now where we know we enjoy no I feel no be na yan couple na kwa say on shit am pesa nyama no be say time na ofo nyama no ofo sa nyama no still no you should be appreciating him and thanking him. So I say won't here say the be even through the trials no yakakra but ube so afan kakra say the we na we pay na we need we're enjoying now. You will not feel that you say na be fepo anka na kai de man can't yawo say nyum na we to say on say be say man can't yawo. Oh yeah, all right. You understand me? So you need to enjoy it, because when you understand it, even when there's pain, you speak, God, I'm feeling pain. You see, David said something. He said, "You've scourged me, but you've not given me to death." I think Psalm 118, some part of it said, "You've scourged me. What harm me power? What teaching? But for me, ma you understand me? So you should know that God. So I like the way David interact with God. He can talk about God. God, why have you left me? Why have you given me to my enemies?" But the same page or the same section, David will also say, "Oh God, but I know you love me, and I know you take me out of it." So he knows how to read the mind of God, engage the mind of God, speak to God, and sometimes he knows how to make us obey that.
All right, young brother,
you need to enjoy it.
All right,
you need to enjoy
but a kwamba so na fasting prayers etumeboa Bible study in teachimuna yemfan sorry why.
That is where the focus comes in.
All right,
it's for your own benefit. Nyama na ofemuno fasting, your general fasting or dear what me say Yakuba Fra will say you're fasting, but everybody is called to be part, is going to do a part of your life. Understand? You have to start from somewhere. As a normal human being, you have to have a part of your life that you fast. It's for your own benefit, but it says starting from somewhere. And then a bit so why your friend can say fast. So the fasting helps for your own benefit. Or no, can be fasting and
Bible studies.
Bible studies, no, it's part of your life, because that is what the whole thing is coming for. There's something in the word that is going to take you through the process. You need to hear it so you can be able to go through the calling very well. Understand? Sometimes you have to concentrate. It's on separate on one or two things. Until understanding the mono and idea yama or yama one person yama for to say we are the be doing this means me and let me say now you get to know it's a personal intimacy with God. All right.
Until the best answer abebi so pacho what's America to na follow social media handles na to ja na yes sorry so
we thank God. So a particular call, you know, This me encourage obi ase nyakopa frɛ wo wo bibi mu na wonti ase na wo so life no say that tie no wo family wo friends wo society obi go nim de okoso say won say enye obi a na yema wo enye aware bia na yema wo enye dwani bia na yema wo enye tale bia na yema wo obi a good but enye obi a na ese na fatama wo. You have to know because of the calling you have, you don't do certain things in your life. And so I want to encourage everyone that it is between you and your God. Try to have the intimacy with your God. So he will take you through his process by process and enjoy it. That makes the peculiar calling beautiful.
All right. Obi wa habechi anu wada na se ana en sorry so.
Me there will be a young couple doors. I don't know where to start from. I thank everyone, especially those who love and appreciate the differences in the life of everyone's calling and loves to help. We are all there for each other, so everyone is welcome. I give thanks to everybody who actually loves and understands the calling of each and every individual as a child of God, as everybody created by God. Thank you for helping everybody's calling, no matter how and where they are coming from. God bless you all.
All right. Inchiam Sonko Enkoma Evelyn Achampon or Ghana Water Limited Kumasi branch. O hwe Jimidi Yakopon insha woni obusuan. Ebusuan fo ha na mbebe ma kwan ere Abeefo Asetena Pa Jimidi ebesi yambe no ayebe Middle Christopher Abedeban better production team na se no bibia oboaya ede Madi Jimidi eba wakumu wa hwe yen so yesua se na ebe ya ye no ofra Sonko no ebebem. Koso ana na wotwe bia hwe Jimidi Embre no ayebe medibesi a yame adoma ndasende basanse hia makramo bye bye.